Good afternoon, everyone. Will Dupree here in the KXAN live studio. Thanks so much for joining our stream. We are continuing our Set for School conversations today with yet another superintendent from our area. Today we're focusing on the Hays Consolidated Independent School District, just to the south of Austin there. Our morning anchor, Tom Miller, sat down this morning, virtually of course, over Zoom, with the Hays CISD superintendent, Dr. Eric Wright. And we want to show you their conversation that they had talking about how everything's getting started virtually, of course, for students in that district. Their first day of school was this week. So let's listen to that conversation that Tom Miller had with Dr. Eric Wright with Hays CISD.
Dr. Wright, thanks so much for talking with us today. First week of school, do you feel like Hays CISD is prepared?
Yeah, we've been spending all summer in preparation for today's opening, and so I feel like we're very prepared. But just like any first day of school, pre-COVID or not, you're always going to have logistical issues and trying to get everybody in the right spot and just taking care of some minor details here and there. But for the most part, I feel great. I woke up and saw a beautiful sunrise. And then I had the opportunity to visit about 5 campuses before speaking to you this morning, and everything seems to be going very smoothly.
And I was reading some about your reopening plan. So vast majority of students are learning from home this morning, but there are some that are on campus, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Those that had difficulty getting the internet or if we weren't able to provide them a device for their home, then many of those children elected to come in person. And then some of our students with special needs, and then some that just didn't have any other alternative that needed their kids to be on campus. And so I think total, we have about 10% of our student body on campus today.
Okay. And then, 3 weeks from now, anybody who wants to have their children back on campus will be allowed to do so. First, how many students do you expect that will be?
So as of last week, we had 46% of our parents have elected to bring their kids back on week number 4, which actually will start on September 28th. And so, we're going to continue to monitor the COVID numbers in our area, but it looks like we'll be able to return in person on September 28th. And like I said, 46% have elected to come back, and so about 54% will remain in the virtual environment.
At this point, you're letting teachers choose whether to work from home or work on campus. Are there many teachers on campus already?
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised as I visited the campuses this morning. We had many teachers working from their classrooms just because they have more resources there, and our internet is better than what they have at home.
Over the summer, there was so much that was in flux. And a lot of teachers, at least, in the greater Austin area, expressed concern about returning back to in-person teaching. Are there teachers who aren't returning this year because of that?
We've had a couple that have resigned and opted out just because of their own medical condition, or they're caring for a parent or a loved one that is has health difficulties. And so they had to make that tough decision. And we told them we would respect their opinions and definitely consider them for rehire as we move forward and things get better.
Inevitably, it's likely that there will be cases this school year. What is the district prepared to do if a student or staff member tests positive?
So it'll be on a case-by-case basis. And obviously we're going to follow all the protocol and make sure we do our contact tracing and find out how many people were within 6 feet for 15 minutes or more. And then those folks obviously would be quarantined upon a positive confirmation, and then they'll be out for 10 to 14 days, depending on whether they have a negative test around that 10th day. And then they'll be allowed to come back, and they'll just simply shift from the in-person environment to the virtual environment at that point. And so hopefully it will be as seamless as possible. It's a little bit more challenging if we have a teacher that tests positive and the teacher has to go into the virtual world, because then we'll have to find a substitute that can come in and take the class for that period of time until the teacher can come back. But we're gonna face those as they come up and handle them case by case.
and this is certainly, a lot of this is not unique to Hays CISD, as you know, all the districts are dealing with this, but guess how confident are you that you'll be able to keep the kids apart, that they won't be sharing germs? I mean, obviously school environments, kids are used to being close to each other.
So far, you know, as I've been at the campuses this morning, that's what they're speaking to the kids about, you know, safety protocol and about keeping their mask on and keeping distance and using the hand sanitizer. We have the school really well marked as far as where you can sit, where you can't sit, where you can stand. And with those markers, I think it's really going to help. And I think our parents have done a good job explaining the necessity behind all the safety protocols. And so I think we will be pleasantly surprised. And speaking to the other districts that started before us, I know they had similar concerns, but didn't come to fruition as many of us thought.
Okay. Two more questions, as long as I can remember them, and then I'll let you go. You know, within this sort of greater Austin area, Hays County has the most cases right now. Does that make things more difficult for you?
You know, it does, but we have a lot of different municipalities within our school district in Hays County. And so instead of looking at the totality of the numbers, because the majority of the positive cases are at Texas State, the age group 20 to 29. And if you remove that number from the group, we're in pretty good shape. And so when I look at the city of Kyle and the city of Buda and Niederwald and Uland and Hays and Mountain City and all the other places that we have, the numbers are much better.
As a superintendent, you oversee the school district. What keeps you up at night when you think about reopening schools and coronavirus?
Just having to respond if you have a major outbreak, and just trying to be prepared and stay one step ahead, not necessarily knowing what the local health authorities may say, or the governor or the commissioner of education. And so, you know, just trying to remain calm and to handle things as they come. You know, so often superintendents, we want to be proactive. We want to try to control as much as we can, but obviously with the coronavirus, we haven't been able to control much at all. So just trying to make sure that we take a lot of deep breaths and that we stay calm, and that we control what we control and we let the rest go.
Okay. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about that we didn't touch on yet?
No, the only thing is I wish we could get the message out to our parents. So for about a 2-week period, we stopped our food service, and we've resumed that today. And I noticed when I was on the campuses today, we had a lot of to-go boxes that haven't been claimed. And so I just want people to know that we've started back with our curbside delivery pickup meal service, and want people to take advantage of that, because we have a lot of food and I don't want to see it go wasted.
And that was our conversation with the Hays CISD Superintendent, Dr. Eric Wright. Our anchor, Tom Miller, interviewed him this morning just after school got underway there for that particular district. I will want to point out some of the things he said. While most of the students from that district are now doing classes online to start off the school year, the superintendent did tell us that about 10% have returned for on-campus instruction. Additionally, he said that later this month, at least 46% of parents have chosen to send their children back to school on campus for learning during the pandemic. He also said that they've had some teachers resign due to the pandemic and fears and concerns about what's happening in their lives and being in the classroom again with their students. And also campuses for those students who have been allowed to go back and are taking classes in person again, they have marked the floors and put up other signs and stickers in places so that kids can try to keep as much distance as apart, because that is one of the health guidelines that they've set for people to protect themselves from COVID-19. I want to point out to you all that if you would like to see more conversations we've done with other superintendents here in our area, there is a special section on our website. So if you take a look right here on the homepage of KXAN.com, just below our live stream there, that's a little delayed, you can look right here. there's a banner called Set for School, Learning During Coronavirus, and if you click that banner right there, it brings you to our Set for School website, and a lot of our coverage about this new school year starting and what the districts are planning during the coronavirus pandemic, it is all detailed here, including this very helpful map that shows you exactly what all the districts in our area are doing, highlights all of them so you can click in there and see what their plans are. If you're curious about what maybe not just your student's school is doing, but maybe one that's down the street or nearby. Once again, I'm Will Dupree here in the KXAN Live studio. We'll also tell you to pay attention to the weather today because of the very rainy forecast that we have. Our meteorologist Kristen Curry is in right now tracking the latest. All those details are available on our website as well and on your app in both the KXAN Weather app and the KXAN News app. Once again, I'm Will Dupree here in the KXAN Live studio. We'll see you back here another time. Everyone, please stay safe and stay healthy.